it's not safe anymore. My kid is it's terrified. He has traumatized.
New tonight, a father is sharing his family's story after surveillance video shows a man tried to kidnap his son in Ocean Beach.
I was out of town to find myself, a way to get myself out of this world. You were not about, and I blame myself.
Good morning, everybody. I am RJ, and this is Crazy News Reacts, where I scour news sources for the strangest, weirdest, craziest news around. Today, I've got a guy who was on drugs and thought a little boy that was with his dad was somehow his son and tried to grab him off the street. I have an update on that. Watch all the way to the end. Hit the like and subscribe, and hey, share it with your friends. Let's go.
This happened on Friday night right in front of the father while the family was finishing dinner outside the new deli they just opened on Newport Avenue. Good evening, and thanks so much for joining us. I'm Marcella Lee. CBS 8's Abby Black spoke with the father, and the family, of course, is still shaken.
Adrian Villanueva says that he and his family were out here enjoying dinner. His 8-year-old son was playing right here on the sidewalk in Newport Avenue when a man grabbed him and tried to pull him across the street. All of it was caught on camera.
Wow. You know, 7 in 10 children will walk away with a stranger despite being warned by their parents not to talk to strangers. And that's because parents need to embed this warning constantly into their child's brain so that it becomes a reflex where they will scream when grabbed. And you know, we have to remember that for every successful kidnapping, there are many more failed attempts just like this with Christopher Higginbotham. To me, he's a monster. And you know, the FBI says it's very hard to estimate the exact number of kids kidnapped every year as opposed to runaways because of those parents who just don't give a shit and don't report their kids missing. Believe me, they exist. There are around 20 failed kidnappings for every one that is successful. So while only 100 children are kidnapped and actually murdered every year, countless others are found alive and well. Let's continue.
Watch this surveillance video as a man yanks an 8-year-old boy playing on the sidewalk in Ocean Beach.
He was like this, and he just grabbed my kid right here. He just grabbed him and put him down, and he say, "Is my son, is my son."
That's when Adrian Villanueva tried to pull his son from the would-be kidnapper.
And I pushed him. I say, "No, he's not your son." And then I tried to get him out, and that's why he grabbed my kid and started running away through the street.
On the video, you can see bystanders rushing to help.
And the security guards from Pacific Shores and from the Harp, they come over here and they grab them and put them towards to the car. It was right here.
The Good Samaritans were able to pull the boy to safety and restrain the suspect until police got there.
Absolutely insane, folks. Around 60% of all kidnappings that lead to murders have been committed by someone the child knows, not really a stranger. So stranger danger doesn't really work all the time. You have to give a child a full understanding of when and how to scream out. And in about 75% of those murders, the child is usually killed within 3 to 6 hours.
Oh my God.
He was crying. I say, "I miss my family. I miss my family."
Villanueva says he originally sympathized with the suspect and didn't want to press charges.
And I say no, because my human side said this guy, he was missing his child.
But now he says his son is traumatized.
He said, "Pa, I don't want to go back to Newport anymore. There is a bad people on the streets. I don't want to go back over there. Please don't take me over there."
But Villanueva is a deli partner at Newport Quick Stop Liquor and Deli. The family just opened the restaurant a week ago, and they own another deli in OB. This is their livelihood, and they plan to spend a lot of time here.
Holy mackerel. Most abductions, like this one committed by Christopher Higginbotham, are what police call crimes of opportunity. Just like you saw in the video of Christopher grabbing that boy, that is a crime of opportunity. He saw a boy there, he grabbed him. Now the story is he thought it was his son. Remember, the boy is Hispanic, Christopher Higginbotham is white. Don't see how you can confuse the two. Very few kidnappings are planned out, and kids actually have a very good record of thwarting these abductions by screaming, yelling, and wriggling away. And hundreds of kids get away every year by doing it.
He was crying. I feel so bad. I feel terrifying when I see somebody taking my kid.
CBS 8 reached out to police to find out more information about the investigation, but have not heard back.
I want the people that come to the store, they feel secure.
Villanueva shared his assigned case number given by police, including the suspect's name, Christopher Higginbotham. We found a Crime Stoppers issued for the suspect in 2018. The wanted fugitive was captured. It says that he has a history of felony convictions involving assault with a deadly weapon. Villanueva confirms this is the same man who tried to kidnap his son, and now he wants him off the street and OB to be safe.
Today was my kid. Tomorrow can be someone else's kid.
And we have talked ad nauseum about kidnappings and child murderers. But the fact of the matter remains, about half of the children abducted and murdered in the United States are taken by someone familiar with the child. Family, friends, co-workers, acquaintances. And nearly all of abducted children who are not killed are taken by a close family member. I think it's best to teach our children that if they are approached or picked up by someone they do not know, that they scream out to people who are around the scene, that they try to wiggle free, that they try to fight, because this is a very successful means of children actually escaping from creeps like this.
Today, Higginbotham was sentenced to 2 years in prison for what he did. He thanked Villanueva for having a presence of mind in the situation, something he admits he did not have.
Due to the duress and confusion of my mind, I had greatly mistaken the child for my own.
Higginbotham's own 12-year-old son, Oren, was in court today with his mother.
I'm very grateful that I got to see him in the little window.
Oren and his mom say it's a case of mistaken identity.
He was also on acid. So that kind of explains it a little bit.
He wanted to see his son because he hadn't seen him in a long time.
And while I understand the defendant's struggles with substance abuse, it does not excuse his behavior.
Prosecutors say they tried rehabilitative services for Higginbotham's previous felony convictions. This time, they asked for 2 years in prison.
I say that's not enough. He's gonna come back on the street and we'll do the same thing.
Mr. Villanueva did have this to say to Higginbotham.
I forgive him. I forgive him what he did, but don't do it again, buddy. Don't even think about going again and grab another child and it's not yours.
After a few years of sitting in jail and the threats of going to trial, the state attorney in California actually agreed to give Christopher Higginbotham just 2 years in prison for what he did, because he somehow convinced them that he thought this child was his own. And, of course, he blamed drugs. We will really never know whether or not that's true. But in the future, if Christopher is arrested again, we know the prosecution messed up. Thanks for hanging out with me today, guys, and I will see you right back here tomorrow night at midnight. Please like, subscribe, and if you feel it in your heart, please go ahead, share this with your family. It helps me a great deal, and I appreciate it.